Well, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to do a little rehouse of a young Phormingochilus species Rufus. Now this is the peach earth tiger, or sometimes known as the Javan earth tiger as well. Now we've got some youngsters that we've been rearing, and we've been rearing them in these little tiny pots here. And as you can see there's a sling pot, so it's not a great deal different, but this is actually a good example when people ask us about the sizes of what we should keep our things in and what have you. Now, regardless of species, this is how I tend to work mine up. So if you see here, we've got a sling. Now, if you want to come and have a little look at this, this is a Phormingochilus rufus sling. I don't know if you can see that. So there you go. There's a tiny little sling. Now what we do with them is we keep them in a sling pot. And as you can see there, that pot is plenty big enough for that tiny little sling. Now the reason being that we keep them in this is because it's very easy to maintain. We can keep a nice humid environment in there, and it's real easy to feed them. So you drop your tiny little, these guys are on little micro crickets, or they'll take baby red runners. They'll also take a baby Dubai roach as well. Anything that size, that tiny size, you put it in there, it cannot help but bump into that spider, and that spider will then in turn eat it. It will catch it nice and easy. If I do see online occasionally that people put that size spider in that size pot. Now, that's nothing wrong in that as such, but you are running the risk of finding it harder to feed your spider. So why not make life easy for yourself? Keep it in that. Keeps it nice and simple. Now, when this spider is probably, it would have had 2-3 molts in here. Could still be okay living in here, but give it 2 or 3 molts, maybe even 4 molts, and then move it up to this size, and then you have the same equivalent as what you had here. Spider is much bigger. It's still in a small environment. We don't want to give our spiders massive environments when they're small. The most important thing is they find their food nice and easy, they feel secure, and they grow at a steady rate. If we give them masses of room, it just, in my opinion, in my experience, it doesn't work so well. I find my spiders grow up better and stronger doing them like this, keeping them small as we work our way up. Now, once this, you'll see this one in a moment, because this is the one we're going to rehouse. She's quite big now for this particular pot. You can just about make her out in there. You might just be able to get to see her there.
Where is she?
There.
Yeah, I see her.
You got her?
Yep.
Now you'll see once we actually move her out that she is actually quite a big spider. And but that pot is still, that's suitable at the moment. Now from there we go to this. Now this, you would have known, you regular guys to the channel will know I'm quite fond of these. Now these are actually 15 centimeters wide, or square. They're 15 centimeters square by 20 centimeters tall. Now I find these absolutely ideal for moving this particular size spider. This is like an arboreal setup. They do one of these which is about so big, which is more of a terrestrial one. I have some of them as well, but I don't have very many terrestrials. So you'll see mainly these in my collection. So these are what we use for the rehouse for going up. So what we're going to do, it's going to be a real simple job. You see, I've actually already put a little bit of compost in here, but we're gonna stick a little bit more in. We've got some down here. Try not to get it all over the carpet. Now then. Now one thing you will find, the Phormingochilus are an arboreal Asian spider, but they do burrow down, especially when young. You will find them quite often buried deep in the substrate, as many arboreal youngsters do. They'll hide away in the substrate. So what we do now is we give them a reasonable amount. It doesn't have to be too mad, not too hectic, but we give them a reasonable amount of substrate so that they can dig down if they so wish. And we literally do that. When you put your soil in, clean your glass before you put your spider in. It's much easier. Times I forget to do that, and then I'm like, oh my God, look at the state of that glass. And as you regulars know, me and dirty glass don't get on. Now then, straightforward beastly water bowl. And put that in there like so. That's wedged in nicely there. A little bit of, remember, put a little bit of water on it. That seals that glue, makes it set straight away. So now we can actually go ahead, pop our spider in, no problem at all. So what we're going to do now, what we're looking at with this spider, we're still growing it on. So we want to try and keep things as simple as possible. So we've got a nice simple enclosure like this. This is all it needs. It can get security behind here. There's enough substrate if it wants to bury down. 9 times out of 10 it will do it behind the cork bark. So it will bury down in there. Now then, let's have a little look at this. These are an absolutely beautiful spider. They were really expensive at one time, but they're now getting better and better price wise. Look at the colour of that when it comes out into the light. You see that? Absolutely beautiful. Now, as you can see, she thinks she's still hidden away. So what we'll do, try a bit of light on her. Once we plug it in, we can don't forget, guys, your hot glue gun gets very hot. There we go. As you can see, she's tucked away in there. She's absolutely beautiful. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and tempt her out. Now these guys are a little on the quick side. You don't really want to be wearing one. There she comes. And hopefully we can just get her to just walk out. She doesn't want to leave the sanctuary of her web. Can't say as I blame her. There we go, into your new home. And there she is. Nice and gentle. And we're getting a nice colour of her. As you can see, these are a really pretty spider. Now she's still got a fair bit of growing to do yet. She's only a sub-adult, young juvenile. I'm saying that she's a she, we're hoping she's a she. Now we've got another 3 of these guys to rehouse. So hopefully this will be a female. And as always, we will leave her alone now for sort of 24 hours, let her settle in, get nice and settled in her new home, and then we can we will introduce some food. Now then, you've seen a little tiny baby, and you've now seen a young, what we hope to be a young female. Now this this is a recently matured male. Bear with me a moment. I need all sorts of fingers and hands here. Now this guy stays hidden away all the time. Now I'm going to try and get him to sort of show you, but I don't want him to leave the pot. If we can get him up on his bit of wood, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Be careful, because we don't want him to bolt. But notice the difference in the colouring. He's very, very leggy. And he's not got that real peachy orange colour. He's like most males. Look at that, isn't he beautiful? What a stunning little male. There he is. Gorgeous. Now unfortunately, he's matured before we've got a female ready for him. So he will be up for grabs if anyone is in need of a male Rufus. He will be available. Now, these guys, as we said before, these are an Asian Arboreal, so they do like a bit of humidity. I keep mine fairly high, I suppose, around about 80% humidity, somewhere around there. Heat-wise, these do really well. It's 80 degrees in here and they love it. They're out and about all the time. So, yeah, I mean, they're fairly simple to look after, fairly easy, and by all accounts, reasonably easy to breed as well. So these are part of a future breeding project, and we'll do them. Hopefully, we'll breed them. Now, food-wise, these guys, as we were saying earlier on, slings will take very small crickets and roaches, baby roaches. The size that this young lady in here is, she'll take on an adult red runner or a sub-adult dubia roach. Once they hit adulthood, they'll take pretty much anything. And we don't need to feed them too much as well. You don't want them getting too fat. So watch their abdomen size and go on that. And also on whether you're seeing them or not. If they're tucked away, they're not normally hungry. Right then, so that's them guys. Don't know where she's gone. Oh, she's hidden around the back already. What a stunning little spider. There you go. One last little look of her. Right then. So that is our Phormingochilus species Rufus. If you want a pretty spider, give them a go. They're really nice, very nice, and easy to work with as well, as you've seen. Very calm. So then, I hope you enjoyed that little video. It's just a quick rehouse and a quick little rundown on how we look after these guys. And yeah, hopefully we'll have some good video in the future of some pairings. That's the ultimate aim. I think an adult female of one of these is absolutely stunning. So it will definitely be worth having a closer look at later on. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spiders. And I'll see you soon.